Hello, I am Onision, the most honest YouTuber, or maybe one of the most honest YouTubers. I don't know of anyone more truth-telling than me. That was proper English. Anyway, the reason I'm one of the most honest YouTubers is because I don't see a lot of value in somebody's anything. Once you lie, everything you say is basically less valuable. So I treasure that. I hold that above most anything else I stand for. So when accusations come out, I tend to hope that people can trust me, that I know what I'm talking about when I say one thing is true or another thing is true. Because I am not the type of person to just lie to people. If you ask anybody that I've encountered in my life, their complaints will generally be that I'm a jerk, or that I publicly embarrass people, or that I reveal private information because I'm too honest. Like, the complaints are pretty consistent with me taking things that people say privately and making them public, or taking private moments in people's lives and just exposing it to everybody. And that is a product of this excessive honesty, which is inappropriate and sometimes. But I don't seem to care. You just don't tell me secrets. You just don't tell me anything, and the public will never know. But like, if you want to tell me something that, you know, I feel the public needs to know, I'm a whistleblower. I'm loose lips. You know, I sink ships with these lips. Mind you, I would never betray country or anything like that when it means, you know, getting people harmed or whatever. I'm a conscientious objector after all. I would try to do what I could to preserve the most life. Like, for instance, I was using this analogy the other day. I was like, if I was trying to hide Jewish people in World War II and these Germans were like, where are the Jewish people? I would probably start humming a tune or crap myself. I was talking about this on Discord with Becca Copsicle and SpookyCoo and other people. But I would just hum a tune or try to distract them. You know, I wouldn't lie. And the reason I wouldn't lie is because it's so very important to me. Like, it's one of the most important things I hold in life. Okay? And people value me for that. You know, so many people think that everyone lies, and that's not me. You know, that's not something that I support. And the same idea goes with people using illegal drugs. People say, oh, everyone does it. I don't use illegal drugs. I don't do a lot of things that people say everyone does. So anyway, with that that setup to the following, I wanted to talk about accusations. I've had a friend accused of something very serious recently, and I'll get to that at the end of this video. But I wanted to talk about, first of all, the things I've been accused of. I've been accused of not necessarily violating someone in the bedroom, but this person, and some of you know this story, they laid out this scene from Rocky where Rocky was getting with Adrian. And she was like, no, Rocky, no, Rocky, no. And then they wound up getting married shortly after. Well, the person I dated, they said that they were saying, no. And then they said it wasn't a crime. They said the actual R word, but I can't really say that. They said it wasn't a crime, but that they felt uncomfortable or something like that. And I didn't read this initially. I didn't read their full essay that they released to the public. I just read like the first paragraph and I said, oh, I support them 100% because I wanted them back. You know, desperation when you get lonely. Anyway, so people were like, yo, do you realize what you just admitted to? And I was like, no, what did I admit to? And they said that. I was like, I freaked out. Like, I was like, oh my, I panicked. And so I was like, guys, I didn't read this thing that they're talking about. And, you know, I was very upset that she would accuse me of that, considering we had done things together multiple times throughout that weekend. And it just didn't make sense, especially since she wanted to marry me in under 30 days after a few romantic occurrences with her throughout the weekend that I was staying in the hotel. Like, again, multiple times we were doing things day and night. So it was so confusing that everything went well, and then they would say, you know, that they ever even uttered the phrase. Because that, of course, turns me off. I'm actually very, very egotistical. So if I have someone rejecting me, then I probably will cry. And that's that's just how pathetic I am. In fact, that same girl rejected cuddling with me the next morning. I wanted to cuddle with her, and she said that I needed to be a man. And so I started crying, and then she left the hotel room, which was, you know, embarrassing, humiliating for me, because I'm just used to people wanting to cuddle with you after they make love to you, especially the next morning or whatever. But again, we made up after that, and I started acting like a bigger man, just like she wanted me to, and then I broke up with her for drinking with friends in a more than usual irresponsible manner. And then I begged for her to come back. Anyway, so that's the same story I've told over and over again. You'll find that I can just wrap it out. So either I'm a mastermind liar, or I'm just a typical person who can tell the story that they remember because it actually happened to them. Regardless, on to other accusations. I dated a girl, a Canadian girl. She was a pop star, or a upcoming pop star. I think she kind of fizzled out despite her talent because of certain personal things that were going on in her life. But she accused me of ending the life of her unborn child, and this was very odd to me. It was odd because I had broken up with her, and she said, or she physically attacked my door, where she was body slamming it because I had broken up with her and she wanted in the room. She had this thing where if you break up with her, she will do everything she can to get back with you, even though it's obvious that you're uncomfortable and you don't want to be around her. So she was body slamming the door, so I put my hand outside the door. So the door's right here. I put my hands outside the door and I pushed her away from the door. And she fell down to the ground, and then she said that I was an abuser or something, so I called the police, and I had the police decide what was really going on, and they told her to leave me alone. A similar incident happened with the same girl, where she was in my room. I had just broken up with her, and I'm silly. I take people back when I shouldn't. But I had just broken up with her, and I wanted to be alone in my room, and so I couldn't pick her up because she would weigh as much as me, and she was fighting me. I could have picked her up weighing just as much as me. I could pick up somebody who weighs like 220 pounds. Like I powerbombed someone named Tomato Biscuit in a video not too long ago, and he was about 220. So I'm capable of doing that. And she was fighting me, so I sumoed her out, guided her out with my hands. It wasn't like hitting or anything like that. But I guided her out, and then I closed the door, and then I wound up calling the police. I'm pretty sure I called them a total of 3 times. So it would make sense if I called that time, the other time, and the time she threatened to end her own life and make it look like I did it. That's what she said. Which is just how? Like, I got back with her like 8 or 9 times. It was 7 times. I don't know. It was ridiculous. Like, I was just so desperate to be in a relationship that I would ignore all these things, about them. And people were begging me to break up with this girl online because they saw how toxic it was to me. So thank goodness for the person I'm married to now, Lainey. Anyway, there was also an incident, and this kind of brings me to the accusation that I wanted to talk about regarding my friend, or former friend. This girl, at one point, because I wanted to break up with her, had wrapped her arms around me, like completely. And she's a very strong girl. And she begged me to hit her. And the reason that she wanted me to hit her is because I know, like, basic psychology. She wanted to have something on me so she could guilt me into being with her again. She was like, I wish you would hit me. She said that. Because I was talking about how she had her arms around me and she was, like, power gripping me. And I was just like, I'm not going to hit you. And she's like, I wish you would hit me. And I'm like, I'm not going to hit you. Like, that's just not who I am. I don't hit people that are smaller than me. Unless it's my sister disconnecting my internet when I was 13 years old. That did happen. But, sibling rivalries or whatever. And she had beat me up 13 times or so prior. So it was finally time for me to actually win a fight with my sister. But, yeah, so she had her arms wrapped around me, this Canadian girl. And I just started nervously laughing. I had a full breakdown, essentially, where I just started giggling, and I couldn't do anything else because I wasn't going to hit her. So she had me in this grappling thing, and that was it. But as far as accusations go, like those are the only 2 people I can think of who I've actually met who have accused me of something. And like I said, the first girl wrote me an apology letter, and I forgave them, and they offered to come out and hang out with me. They wanted to be my friend. They literally said that. They gave me their phone number. And they just, clearly were realizing that I wasn't as bad as they thought I was, or they just wanted to make things right with me because they had seen that I just got cheated on by the Canadian girl. The Canadian girl had gotten pregnant with someone else's baby. The girl who had body slammed my door and who had asked me to hit them, and who had said that they want to end their own life and make it look like I did it. That same girl got pregnant with someone else's baby while I was dating them. And you may wonder what happened to the first baby that she says that I ended the life of. She had a miscarriage. This was not that long after she was body slamming the door, but it came out through the scan that we did. on her uterus that the baby had died 6 weeks into the pregnancy, and the body slam thing happened at about 12 weeks. So the baby was in there for a while, and as I understand, that was part of her going back to Canada, where she later said that she lost her passport so I could continue paying her bills while she looked for her passport, only to realize that she was picking up the money I was sending her with her new boyfriend. So, anyway, I didn't expect to feel this way talking about this, but yeah, so those are the things that I have been accused of, and as you can see from both examples, the issue was either made right, or the people were obviously needing some kind of psychological help. That same girl, the Canadian girl, admitted that she's a pathological liar based on what I was told from an interview that she did. And I don't know why she would admit that, but apparently, allegedly, she did. So, I mean, I understood that. If you guys have ever been with a pathological liar, it's you want to love them so bad, but you keep encountering situations where you find out that they haven't been honest. Like, for instance, there was this incident where she said that she was knocked out while kickboxing with somebody that she was set up to train with, so she could lose weight because she was supposed to be this Canadian pop star. And they body shamed her, saying that her body wasn't good enough for being a singer, which, Adele proved them wrong, right? And she had a brilliant voice. But so she was doing this kickboxing thing, and she said that the guy knocked her out on accident. And so when I was actually there, because I had flown up to be with her in Canada, I asked the guys, like, so what happened with that knocking her out thing? And he had no idea what I was talking about. And so I immediately changed the subject because I realized she had lied. And I didn't want to embarrass myself, and I didn't want to embarrass her. And, stuff like that kept happening. So there's just something weird with some people. I could go on and on with the stories, but there's something very difficult about loving someone who will not be honest with you. Anyway, so as far as the accusation that my friend has gotten, Cyr, C-Y-R, he's been in many of my YouTube videos, and if someone can confirm these accusations, I will gladly remove all my videos with him in them. They're very funny. He's a brilliant comedian. I've always absolutely loved working with him. But if this is real, if he's another Chris Brown type person, I don't want to be associated in any way. And I know this because I know I myself am not similar, in the sense that I had every opportunity. I had someone screaming in my face to hit them, and I refused. So I know I'm not that type of person. And me being a registered conscientious objector helps. Helps my my understanding of myself. Anyway, so there's this girl named Mina and this guy named Edwin. And Edwin and Mina are dating now, as I understand. And Mina was initially in a three-way relationship with Cyr and his girlfriend Dasha. So allegedly, according to Edwin, based on what he tweeted, and the tweet is here, and then there's a follow-up tweet from me, and then there's a follow-up tweet from him, and a follow-up tweet from me. But according to him, he was in the other room, and Mina was slapped in the face by Cyr. As an adult man, slapping a woman is one of the most unacceptable things you can do. And I personally am horribly disappointed if that is a real thing. Cyr has given up on both my friendship and his friendship with Edwin. We were both friends with him for many, many years. I ended the friendship with Cyr over something, typical. I end friendships over small things and then make up later on if the friendship is worth pursuing. Cyr and I have since apologized to each other for the things that went down, but he chose not to pursue a friendship with me. Or Edwin. Like, we're both just basically out of his life. So that's fine and everything. But what I'm concerned about is whether or not Cyr is going to be finding himself accused of hitting more people, and if he is a person who actually hits people. Now, I haven't seen Cyr address this to me or to Edwin or to anyone, but he may have by now, and I hope he did. But hitting women is something that will make me completely eliminate you from my life, no matter who you are. And the same goes for girls. It's more so about love. It's more so about respect, and it's more so about being a person who's in a position of power and physically abusing someone who is far more fragile than you. I have very strong feelings about this kind of thing. I get angry. I want to get violent against men who do this to women, but I don't. I have feelings, you know? So I'm sorry to hear this, and I hope it's not true. And as I demonstrated, a lot of times accusations can be false. But I have a feeling, you know? I have a feeling, that's all, that I fear this might be true. And if it is true, I don't have anything to say. Anyway, so thank you so much for watching, and if you're a woman or a man who is abused in a relationship, you think it's like okay, you think they love you, they don't. They absolutely do not. What they love is themselves, okay? So don't think for a second that you in a relationship deserve to be hit. Don't think for a second in a relationship that there is anything that justifies it, okay? There are people out there who know how to love, who will not hit you, who will not harm you, who will treat you with the respect that you treat them, okay? So know that you are wasting your time with someone who physically abuses you. Like, I know it feels powerful. I've been in abusive relationships where people threaten to kill themselves and make it look like I did it. Like, that's how extreme of relationships I've been in. I've called the cops 3 times on the same girl before, and I would get back with her again and again. So I know about thinking that someone is the only person for you and thinking that you won't be loved by anyone else. In fact, that Canadian girl said that no one will ever love me as much as her. And that's just what they say. You know, that's just the lie they tell, so they can keep you under their control. But yeah, just know that you're better, and know that you deserve someone who treats you as well as you will treat them.